Hi, my name is Rosalind Smith, and I am the Community Relations Director at Waterhouse Ridge. My background, well, I'll just say this. I started a long time ago, and my very first job was in senior living. I worked in the dining room, and I absolutely loved it. And now I feel like I've come full circle. My mother-in-law, my husband and I took care of her for about 8 years, and she had dementia in our own home. And now I'm in memory care here at Waterhouse Ridge, and I absolutely love what I do. I've worked in independent assisted living memory care, but with my grandmother who had dementia, as well as my mother-in-law, my cousin. Memory care is just so near and dear. I love to help people. I love to be a resource. And most of all, I just like to make connections for people. And memory care, you have to have such a passion and understanding. And I just like to be that person. And I really think that it's where I need to be. Every day is a different day. And it's one of those things, it's like, you know, the phone rings and you have a chance to have dialogue with families and make sure that you're there for the right reasons and make sure that you're going to build that relationship and the trust, and then hopefully get them scheduled to come in for a tour, and then it just goes from there. We have a lovely building, and we have caring staff members, lovely residents, and working with One Life has been just an amazing year for me, and I'm just so looking forward to the next 10 years. The most rewarding part, let me just say, I used to drive by this building and I always thought, wow, that's a beautiful building. And then it was like when I got the opportunity to come to Waterhouse Ridge, I said, wow, I get to work in this building. But most importantly, it's our staff. Our staff are very caring, they're genuine, they're sincere. We have lovely residents, but when you see the staff engagement with our residents, it's like no other. Our community, it's a family. People care, they want to make a difference each and every day. They come into work smiling, they want to help people, they're a team. And we are all able to just help each other out and just make a difference for each and every one of our residents. Well, I could share many stories, but when you first get that phone call, you get people who are just starting the process. They're overwhelmed with the thought of having the diagnosis. But if you really just take the time and just establish that trust and relationship, and for myself, sometimes if it's appropriate, I'll share my personal story so people know I've walked in your shoes. I'm here to help you. The goal would be, yes, I'd love for them to move into my community. But if my community wasn't the right fit for them for whatever reasons, let me be a resource for you, and maybe I can connect you with someone else that can help. But at the end of the day, when people get to move their loved ones in here, most times they say they should have done it sooner than later. First, I always like to ask, so tell me about what's going on. What has changed? How long have they had the diagnosis? Finding out about, a little bit of their background. What was their occupation? How are they doing? And I always like to ask the person who's calling, how are you doing? Because it's an overwhelming process. And then before you know it, they just start talking, and then you can kind of see that they're a little bit more relaxed, and before you know it, you're getting a lot of great information, and then I'm able to get them scheduled in for a tour. And then from there, it just gets easier because they're able to see it firsthand. And then it's like, okay, at the end of that tour, I'm a hugger, and I always like to ask permission, and then I let them know I'm here to help them through the whole process as best I can. There's so much to talk about. We've got beautiful apartments. I love to call them studio suites. They range in size from a neighboring size up to a deluxe large suite. We have lovely courtyards, so for residents who love the outdoors, they can go outside and enjoy. They can walk freely amongst the community. They can participate in activities, enjoy space in the bistro. We've got musical concerts. They have so many choices, and that's really what it's about. Each and every day is a different day, but when you see people smiling and engaging with music and doing exercise and clapping and walking hand in hand throughout the community, you're doing something right, and it has a great feel here in our community. I would definitely recommend Waterhouse Ridge and One Life Senior Living to anyone. It's amazing from a corporate standpoint in the support that you have, even from our founder, Dr. Falk. It's just amazing being part of the opening at the Esther Building when I met everybody for the very first time in May. Just being part and feeling like you're a team, and your feedback is valued. It really makes me proud to work for One Life and to be part of Waterhouse Ridge.